All right, guys, so it finally happened. The day has come. We actually have some good news to talk about for the vaping industry. So Trump has backed off his stance calling for a federal flavor ban on vaping, but we still are under attack from the media. We're going to discuss both of those. But first, we're going to talk about some good news today on Indoor Smokers. Woohoo! All right, cheers. Vapestas, click it up. Oh man, I think I just busted you in the jaw. Sorry about that. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a delicious fruity flavor vape, although it is still illegal for me here in Washington state, at least to purchase it. But I had this stuff specially inserted in my rectum weeks ago, anticipating this flavor ban coming. So anyways, I'm gonna take a vape for all of you guys out there who are now a little further away from having the same type of flavor ban we got going in Washington state. Yes, that means hold off on the insertion, pull it back out. You guys just might have got a fucking reprieve. So if you hadn't heard already, check it out. CNN reported yesterday that President Trump is backing off his stance, calling for a federal flavor ban on vaping. Here's a little bit of that report.
President Trump now rethinking a major public health promise to ban flavored e-cigarettes. Vaping, the president said back in September, was killing kids. But the New York Times reports the president now dramatically backing off a proposed ban.
We have to take care of our kids, most importantly. So we're going to have an age limit of 21 or so. We have a lot of people to look at, including jobs, frankly, because, you know, it's become a pretty big industry.
So there you have it, guys. Despite all of the push from the fucking anti-vaping lobbyists and all of the powers against it who are up in arms right now, and against Melania herself, Trump does the smart thing, at least politically, and backs the fuck up off of that thing. And that I vape, I vote shit did it, man. That was the angle to take, and that was the way to go. And we ain't as stupid as they think we is in the vaping industry.
These ads are from Ohio, an organization called the Vapor Technology Associates, which conducted the polling that we know that the president's campaign manager, Brad Parscale, shared with the president, saying, Mr. President, if you do this, you're going to take a hit. These are the ads trying to back up that point.
President Trump, I voted for you in the last election. If you enact a flavor ban, I cannot support you any longer.
There are 545,000 registered voters in the state of Ohio that also vape.
If you enact a flavor ban, this will cost you the election.
I vape and I vote.
And I guess he finally figured out how much money vaping brings in taxes and how many people it employs in the industry. But anyways, that is definitely good news. Now he is calling for a much more reasonable, like 21-year age limit on vaping. We can deal with that. Still not loving it. Honestly, you can go to fucking Ward 18, you can die and kill for your country, and yet you can't fucking vape in it. That just seems a little ridiculous to me, but I don't run the country. So whether this was really Trump having an epiphany or whether it was just motivated by his own political interests, either way, I'll give him some credit because he made the right call on this one. And like I said, he had his own wife up in his ear. But Donald, what about the bear and Donald? The bear, he's so impressionable, Donald, he gonna vape. So anyways, guys, it is great, I think, that in conjunction with the latest CDC findings, which all but state that the entire epidemic was THC cart related and not vaping, we still do have news media outlets who just insist on continuing to list those statistics of lung injuries and deaths and blame it on vaping despite the CDC's own statements.
This is from the CDC, Centers for Disease Control, 2,172 lung injury cases linked to vaping, 42 confirmed deaths, injuries reported in 49 states.
So I gotta say at this point, man, that's the kind of shit that is really pissing me off right now, because this, on November 8th, is the CDC statement. So there's nobody at CNN who can say that they were not aware of this information. This is according to the CDC. THC is present in most of the samples tested by the FDA to date, and most patients reported a history of using THC-containing products. The latest national and state findings suggest products containing THC, particularly from informal sources, janky-ass deals on the street, in other words, but those are linked to most of the cases and play a major role in the outbreak. That is according to the CDC's own findings, and yet they still want to claim every single one of those 2,000 and some injuries, the deaths, everything, and they still say they are vaping related. That is such bullshit, man. We need to either figure out some new terminology to describe the two different acts. One is basically dabbing, one is vaping. Give them their own fucking term, man. Quit associating it with us. But man, I've been hearing people saying, that's a fucking lawsuit right there, man. Shit is fucking fraudulent and liable. And like I said, they had access to all of the information which tells them exactly the opposite of what they're stating right there at the end. So if anybody out there in the vape industry, man, I don't know, I'm just saying, that's what I've been hearing. Anybody else been hearing that shit, man? CNN keep talking like that and somebody's gonna fucking bring a lawsuit down on your ass. But anyways, guys, that just shows we still have a way to go not to inform the news media about the truth because they already know that shit, but to fucking hold them to the fire, force them to be accountable, and make them fucking report the truth. Because not only are they fucking endangering this industry and all of us adult vapors out there who are doing nothing illegal, but actually even more so, they are endangering the fucking people who are buying those illicit fucking THC carts by not just coming out and reporting the fucking truth, man. So you're not only endangering this industry, but you're endangering the lives of fucking people that you could be helping by informing them of the true cause of the lung injuries. Now, I'll give credit to NBC. They're the ones who did that story. I actually did a video about that a little bit ago, but just for anybody who needs a refresher, let's take a little quick look at what NBC was able to discover just within a few days of taking some of those carts off the streets and bringing them to a lab.
We went to CannaSafe, one of the leading cannabis testing facilities in the nation. We bought 3 brands of THC cartridges from legal dispensaries, and CannaSafe obtained 15 illicit varieties.
Give me the report card.
So for the legal products you brought in, they certainly got an A+. They all met the label claim for THC, they all were free of harmful adulterants, and none of them contained any traces of vitamin E oil. As far as the illicit products though, it's got to be a big fat F. Unfortunately, every single one had some harmful pesticide in it, or in 13 or 15 had some level of vitamin E oil. No one should want this to be available for any citizen to partake in.
So I'm not saying all of the news media is the same, but right now they need to get on the same page because like I said, people are still spreading that misinformation and there's no reason for it. So maybe people want to contact CNN, maybe you guys want to contact the show and let them know that they are printing misinformation. Maybe they'll want to do a fucking retraction. I don't know. Enough pressure, they just might. I mean, how hard is it to find out who advertises on that fucking program? You just sit there and see who the commercials are and then fucking write a company and say, hey, I just wondering if you know that you advertise on a program that fucking spreads misinformation and lies to the public. They might be interested. That's all I'm saying. I've heard. But all right, guys. Let's try to keep it on a positive note. We are making inroads. We are pushing forward. The thing is, we need to keep this discussion civil. We need to keep it focused on those political motivations because that's where we're going to get somewhere. And I do want to give a shout out to Dre, the owner of MIG Vapor. He has been on social media, mainly Twitter, and he has really actually managed to have a dialogue with some of the people in the Trump administration, private messaging back and forth about this. He has really pushed the I Vape, I Vote and trying to keep the whole discussion civil. He also donated a lot of the money to that rally in DC, so I know he doesn't take credit for a lot of stuff, but I just want to say he has been out there in the forefront. Thank you, Dre. Good job on this one. Good job everybody else out there, man, who stuck with it, who kept the pressure on. That's what we got to do, man. You're not just going to sit back and have somebody hand you something. That ain't the way the world works. You want to have your rights to vape, you're going to have to fight for them. So all right, guys, don't forget, you should follow CASAW.org. They are one of the oldest vaping advocates, so if you guys want to follow them, I'll put a link underneath this video. And other than that, if you have not subscribed to this channel yet, please do. Ring that little bell so you get the notification when the videos go up. Hopefully we'll have some more good news coming in the vaping industry in the weeks and months ahead.